Hello and welcome to the 2018-19 school year. My name is Nate Werner and I'm the Activities Director and Associate Principal here at Appleton North High School. I'm entering my second year as AD and I am beyond excited for another exciting year of Lightning activities and athletics. I also want to take this opportunity to introduce you to some other very important people that you will most likely meet and get to know during your time here at Appleton North. Mr. Kevin Bleck, Mr. Tommy Moriarty, and Mr. Kyle Hayes will be our strength coaches this year. Coach Bleck is a health teacher here at Appleton North, and Coach Moriarty teaches math. Coach Hayes is new to us in 2018-19. He is an employee of Advanced Physical Therapy, and his background is in personal training. Mrs. Cassie Timmers returns as our licensed athletic trainer. And Dr. David Kuplick will again serve as our team physician at all football and hockey games. Many people might wonder, why do we have to sign a code of conduct or attend a code meeting? Well, I feel very strongly, as do many others, that co-curricular activities can be a big part of a student's high school experience and education. Many students have lifelong memories and learn valuable skills from being a part of a team, club, cast, or crew. These skills include, but are not limited to, teamwork, fair play, overcoming adversity, learning how to win and lose with class, learning how to get along with a variety of people from various and diverse backgrounds, etc. I feel very strongly, and am making it my personal mission for the upcoming school year, that every Lightning deserves the opportunity to fill, fulfill, and refill their passion. This means that whatever your passion is, I want you to be able to have the opportunity to not only participate in it, but also to regain that passion if you feel you've lost it. And this goes for our coaching staff and faculty as well. If you choose to join one of our many teams, clubs, drama casts, etc., then our goal is that you have the best possible experience and one that promotes a healthy and responsible lifestyle. Remember that participation in a co-curricular activity is a privilege and not a right. We treat all co-curriculars as an extension of the classroom. So, whatever would not be permitted in the classroom will also not be permitted in a co-curricular activity. And this extends to other school events such as school dances and pep rallies. This often means that if there is a school rules violation, that there will also sometimes be a code violation penalty to serve on top of that school rules imposed penalty. Often students and parents are surprised to hear that there is a penalty to serve in both areas for one offense, and it's important that you know this. Another topic that I want to emphasize in the 2018-19 school year is sportsmanship. I am well aware that some students feel that the Appleton North administration doesn't allow them to have any fun at sporting events. I want to assure you that my main focus is for our students to have fun at our events, and I want our events to be a destination for our students. However, if your definition of fun is to verbally call out opposing players, coaches, or officials and openly disparage them, then that certainly is not the type of fun that we advocate. We will continue to put a stop to calling out individual players' names and numbers during a game. We would hope that you wouldn't want opposing fans harassing you if you were trying to perform either. My hope is that we can begin to refocus our energies on cheering for our team, rather than worrying about putting down the other team. I'm really hoping you can all join me in trying our best to create this type of culture. And I am certainly open to any suggestions you may have to get as many students at our events as possible, and having fun in the right way. The Appleton Area School District Board of Education splits co-curricular activities into 4 categories. Category 1 includes all athletics and performance-based, competition-based activities. If you want to see a full list of what all those activities include, please refer to the Appleton Area School District Code of Conduct document on page 2. Category 2 activities include all leadership and public recognition activities. This would include activities such as Link Crew, National Honor Society, Key Peers, Homecoming Court, and Student Council, to name a few. Category 3 includes music or other classes where students may perform in public as a part of a class grade. Pep band would be an example of this. And Category 4 includes all intramural and interest clubs. The Code of Conduct will apply to all students in Category 1 and 2 activities, whereas Category 3 and 4 activities are governed by the classroom and advisor rules only and are not subject to the Code of Conduct. Now, let's talk about what you will specifically need to do and maintain in order to be eligible to participate in co-curricular activities at Appleton North. You will first need to be academically eligible. Let's remember the main reason why we are all here, which is to get an education and earn a diploma. As stated earlier, participation in co-curricular activities is a privilege, not a right. And one thing you will need to do in order to earn the privilege of participation is to be in good academic standing. Here's what you will need to do in order to achieve and maintain academic good standing at Appleton North. You will need to be a full-time student, meaning you need to be enrolled at least 5 classes each semester you are involved in a co-curricular activity. You will need to pass all of your classes in order to remain eligible. Often people are not aware of this. So again, this means you have to pass all of your classes and may not fail any course during a quarter or semester. At each mid-quarter, I will do a grade check. If you are failing any of your classes, at the mid-quarter check, you will be placed on what's called an academic re-engagement status and will have 10 school days to get your grade up to passing. During those 10 days, you will still be able to participate in all practices, games, contests, and performances. If you are still failing after the 10-day period is up, then you will be ineligible and will not be able to practice or play in any games, contests, or performances. Therefore, if you take care of business and move your grade to passing by the 11th day, then you are completely eligible again. There will be a second grade check done at the end of each quarter. At the end of the first and third quarter grading periods, students who earn a failing grade will be placed on the academic re-engagement status and will have 10 school days to get their grades up to passing. This will be the exact same process done at the mid-quarter grade check, and all the same rules and consequences will apply. And once again, that was for first and third quarter grading. Any student who earns a failing grade at the end of second or fourth quarter will immediately become ineligible for 15 school days. Students will be able to practice only, but not play in any games, contests, or performances. On the 16th school day, students can pick up an academic reinstatement form from the activities office and will bring it to all of their teachers. If each teacher signs and states that the student is passing, then they will be considered academically eligible again. If you have any questions regarding academic eligibility, please contact me in the activities office. The other thing that we'll need to do in order to remain eligible and participate in co-curricular activities at Appleton North is to be in school all day, each day. This is what I refer to as the all-day or no-play rule. And it is the number one issue that we deal with on a daily basis in the attendance and activities offices. And it is also what I believe to be the most misunderstood rule. So I would ask that you pay particular attention to what I'm about to explain, as I'm sure it may affect each and every one of you at some point during your high school career. If we agree that the main reason that we are here is to get an education, then it is very important that you understand this rule. If you miss your classes, then it is very difficult to justify why you should be participating in any co-curricular activity that evening. Your academic courses are the number one most important thing that you should be concentrating on. If you are missing valuable lessons in class on any given day, then you should not be participating in games or practices that same night. Therefore, you will need to be in attendance for all of your classes on any day that you will also be practicing, performing, or playing. If you are late to class, that means you should not be participating that night either. And, please pay particular attention to this, this includes if a parent or guardian calls you in excused. According to the AASD Code of Conduct, even if you are called in excused by a parent or guardian, you will still need to be held out of practices, games, or performances that night. The attendance office will keep track of this and will inform me each day of which students missed class or were late to class on any given day. So I will find out if you miss and will most likely call you down to the office the same day to talk about it. Now, having said that, there are some exceptions to the all day or no play rule. You are still allowed to practice, play, or perform on the night of any given event if you miss class during the day for the following reasons: doctor's appointments, funerals, testing, AASD approved field trips, or court appearances. But please listen carefully to the following. If you miss school or part of school for a doctor's appointment, then you must bring back a doctor's note to the attendance office in order to be cleared to practice or perform that night. If you do not bring in this documentation, then you will not be permitted to participate. Again, this is probably the number one issue that comes up on a daily basis in the activities office, so I want to be crystal clear about this expectation. If you have any questions about whether something that causes you to miss school would be considered an excused absence, then please call me in the activities office as soon as possible when you know you will be missing class. It's better to call ahead of time than be pulled from the event on the night in which it takes place. Hopefully during your time here at Appleton North, you will never need to worry about what types of code violations there are. However, the Appleton Area School District has 3 types of code violations. For the sake of time, I will not go over each and every one of these during this presentation, but they can be found on pages 6 through 10 of the Code of Conduct document. And it is very important that you read this document. By simply saying, "I was never told what the rules are," that will not be a sufficient excuse. So once you sign the Code of Conduct, this means you are agreeing that you understand and agree to follow all of the rules that you read. Depending on what category of co-curricular activity you are a part of, that will determine the penalty of the violation. In Appendix A of the Code of Conduct document, there is a chart that lists the code penalties based on the co-curricular category and type of violation. In years past, there was a self-report component to the code. This used to allow students to have a reduced penalty if they reported a code violation to the activities director on their own accord. Since the Appleton Area School District created their new Code of Conduct in 2017, there is no longer a self-report component. This has been replaced by a restorative justice component that is tied to community service hours. Code penalties can be reduced if a student agrees to perform community service hours that are approved by the activities director. This is also explained in the Code of Conduct document. Finally, any Code of Conduct penalty that is triggered by drug or alcohol use will include an AODA assessment by Mrs. Vanderloop, who is the Appleton North Student Assistance Program Coordinator. If you have any questions about Code of Conduct violations, please don't hesitate to contact me. This slide is the appendix that I referred to earlier. This is Appendix A in the Code of Conduct document that lists the types of violations in the code and the category of activity you participate in. Please refer to this if you have any questions. If a student is accused of a code violation or the activities director is given any evidence that a violation has taken place, then an investigation will occur. The AD will meet with the student and the student will be given an opportunity to give their side of the story. Each incident is handled on a case-by-case basis. Sometimes it will result in a code penalty being given, and sometimes it won't. If a student or parent questions a code penalty, there is an appeals process that is explained on pages 10 and 11 of the Code of Conduct document. Please know that the AD never sets out to get a student. However, it is required that the AD investigate if there is an accusation. No code penalty will ever be given based solely on hearsay. The Code of Conduct is not a gotcha document. It is there to help guide students to a healthier lifestyle and sets the tone for what is expected of participation in co-curriculars at Appleton North. One final note is that the Code of Conduct is not subject to legal interpretation. In order to participate in athletics at Appleton North, you need to have some paperwork on file. Before anyone can even walk on a field, court, jump in a pool, skate on a rink, etc., you must have a current physical or alternate year card on file in the main office. If you are not sure whether your physical is current, you can always check with the main office secretaries and find out. All other forms that are found on the front of the Appleton Area School District Code document, the form with the yellow paper, need to be turned in before you can participate in your first event. You will also need to pay your participation fee before your first event as well. If there is ever a financial hardship, we ask that you please reach out to your coach or to the activities director. Sometimes inclement weather can also factor into whether events will take place on any given day. The area activities directors try to wait as long as possible before making the final call to postpone or cancel an event. Therefore, please wait until at least 2 p.m. before calling the office to see if an event will be canceled. Often the coach or advisor will be in contact with your son or daughter, and they will know ahead of time. Another great resource, if you are wondering if an event will be canceled, is the Fox Valley Association website. You can sign up for notifications and be informed in real time of any change in the event that your son or daughter is participating in. Now, we hope that your son or daughter will always be in good communication with their coach or advisor. But there are some times when issues can arise. It is very important for students and parents to know that there is a procedure in place at Appleton North for the appropriate way to handle disagreements between coaches and players or parents. If this type of a disagreement will ever arise, we ask that you follow this proper procedure. And the procedure goes as follows. Number 1, the student will speak to the coach or advisor if they have any questions about playing time or tactical decisions made by the coach during a practice or game. Parents will not speak or contact a coach with these types of concerns. It is the responsibility of the student to do so. Number 2, if after a discussion between a coach and a student, a resolution cannot be reached, then the student may contact the activities director to set up a meeting. Number 3, the AD will then set up a proper intervention with the coach or advisor. Sometimes parents will be involved with this intervention, and sometimes they will not be involved. Number 4, we need parents to understand that part of participating in co-curriculars is developing the skill of communication, even if there are disagreements. We ask that you allow your son or daughter to advocate for themselves. Again, if it comes to a point where parents need to become involved, the AD will involve them in the appropriate manner. Finally, number 5, if you have any questions regarding this procedure, please don't hesitate to contact the activities director. If you have any questions about WIAA rules, also please contact the activities director first. The WIA will usually not answer direct questions from parents or athletes without going through the school's AD first. So therefore, if you have a WIA question that I don't know the answer to, I will make sure to find out the answer for you. But again, we ask that you come to the AD first with any questions before going directly to the WIAA. Although this was something that was covered in last year's code meeting, I want to reiterate the importance of the appropriate use of social media. I know often students feel like when they post something outside of school that it doesn't have any implications inside of school. However, that is simply not the case. When something is posted, it then becomes public information. Therefore, we urge you to think and use good judgment when posting anything to social media. We are told in the activities office by NCAA coaching staffs that one of the first things they do when looking to recruit potential athletes is to check that athlete's social media accounts. Unfortunately, most code violations that come through the activities office are in some way related to social media use. So I will say it one more time. Think before you post. Although we rolled this out this past spring, we are making a big push during the 2018-19 school year for all of our Appleton North families to consider becoming an Appleton North Lightning Integrity House. The point of the Integrity Houses are to provide a safe place for our students to be able to go and congregate where they know and are assured that they are in a house where alcohol and drugs will never be served and that there will always be adult supervision present. We feel that this is a great way for our students to know that they have a place to go without fear of peer pressure. As I said, I'm hoping you will consider making your home a Lightning Integrity House. If you do have interest in becoming an Integrity House, we will provide you with a free yard sign. Please contact me or stop in the main business office if you would like to pick one up. Thank you for considering and helping to keep our students safe and drug and alcohol free. As I wrap up this Code of Conduct presentation, I want to give a few more final thoughts. First, I want to personally thank the Appleton North Booster Club for all their support of our student athletes and our coaching staffs. We cannot do what we do without their assistance. I would urge all of you to consider joining the Appleton North Booster Club and helping us further support all of the co-curricular activities we have at Appleton North High School. Second, I hope to see all of you at our home football games and all of our events before school starts. The Lightning will take on DC Everest on Friday, August 17th at 7 p.m. They will be at Neenah High School on Friday, August 24th, and will be home again on Friday, August 31st when they take on Fond du Lac. Thirdly, here is where I insert a shameless plug on my own part. If you are part of the Twitter universe, then consider following the activities department at ANHS-Activities if you would like to have some student shoutouts and game updates. Finally, remember also that we will be selling season passes for our various sports or an FVA on the road pass, which gets you admission to all away games that the Lightning are involved in when we are playing another FVA team. These passes will be available for sale in either the main business office, or we will also be selling them at the first few games of each respective sport. One note, however, if you do purchase the FVA on the road pass, this will not be honored for the away football game at Stevens Point. Thank you again for taking the time to view this video. Remember that if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time via email or phone. Please also remember, as stated earlier, to read the actual code document. Saying I was never told that this was a rule simply won't cut it. So when you sign this form, that means you understand and agree to follow all of the rules that are involved. This is very important. When you are finished viewing this video, you will need to come in to the main business office at Appleton North and pick up a code meeting viewing form that both the student and the parent guardian both need to sign. When that form is brought back to the office, then the student will have fulfilled their 2018-19 Code of Conduct requirement. Thanks again, and let's have a great school year. Go Lightning!